Yes, I'm just adding a few videos in the mix in case we are going to need them. We are doing the update for the twin flame connection. I was told that apparently the PayPal link didn't go up, so I'll reconnect it. Apologies. Enter the house, if you will, and we will jump into the reading. Trust me. I'm not late, technically, I think. Okay, where is it? There it is. Get it again. Mercury's retrograde. Aren't we excited? Are we excited about Mercury retrograde? God save the Queen. She has passed. God rest her soul. Did predict that in the previous update. I have been looking at her chart over probably the last 3 years, really. I started when looking at astrology, I was looking at it, and she did have a lot of placements really in her health sector. Her Chiron was retrograde. Her Pluto was active. Pluto currently is retrograde. So yes, but I will do an update on, more than likely, Prince Charles and Camilla. So I'll have a look at their astrology, get their charts up and take a look at it, psychically speaking, and we'll interpret some of it. We're going to look at this energy. For me, it is happening as the moon enters 0 degrees of Pisces, which I did the update. If you haven't seen it, go through and have a look. It gives you some tips on how to handle it. It can be a very emotional time. And the realm is very thin. You know, Pisces can be spiritual gurus. It's Jupiter in nature. It's Neptune in nature. It's a time in which we are going through a transition. I was talking to Giggle earlier. I didn't put it. There you go. I'm away with fairies. Did I put it? I did put it. I'll put it again. You know, we'll do it again. I'll star it. Can I pin it? Not pin. I'm pinning myself for time out. Look at this hair. Yes, we're in perfect form this morning. So how are we all doing with our ascension? I'll send you some nice love and light. Hi, Ben. Oh, look, overall, I did say this would happen. I said that we would all have a very firm belief on it. And at this time, we need to be having open-mindedness. We need to be looking at things, with love, regardless, because this is a time where we all have our personal experience and our personal conditioning. Virgo. Sun is in Virgo at the moment, so people are going to have very firm opinions. It's going to be, and not the time for it. The owner of the house is now selling. I think the water bill killed his motivation in the property. Now I need to smooth. Yes, so certain star signs. Hi, Dawn. How you doing, Dale? Certain star signs are having major transitions. I will be doing a Mars retrograde update. This hair is really doing my head in. I'm just saying. I pulled the cards. Let's get a crowning energy for the joint connection. So, feminines, you guys are going to be feeling maybe run down, maybe feeling a little bit off. Some of you can be going off your food or going onto it, depending on your star sign. Go through and have a look at your star signs. If I've got time, I may do extras, depending on which video gets viewed the most. I could do some bonuses. And for masculines, they're going through a closing of the cycle. It can be a very emotional time. And again, the moon can relate to subjects coming up to do with family, subjects coming up to do with the past, a lot of shadow work. It can feel for them like depression. Can be for some. It can be, especially, I would say, wave 1, wave 2. I do feel that, that makes sense. I do feel that they can be moving through a mini pocket of the dark night of the soul. And feminines, you guys also can be. And that's particularly, sometimes we, I would say that's more wave 2 and wave 3 for divine feminines. Okay, and yep, makes sense. All makes sense. Let's take a look. So you'll know soon enough. So who has been having depression energy. Which group of you have been having depression energy? Some of it's shadow work. It's a lot of memories. It's reflection. The crowning energy is home, family. Home is where the heart is. It's in reverse. It's also to do with base chakra. So in the joint connection, there is foundation-related dynamic that is shifting. It's causing a little bit of instability and it's causing nervousness. There can be things to do with our loved ones. There can be things to do with family. There can be conflict in family coming up, but it's home-related vibrations. And it's also where we feel safe, okay? To me, it's funny. Although we're getting home in reverse, which is base chakra, it especially feels inner child wounds. So it can be insecurities. It can be fear-based frequency. It may be, is this safe? Is this stable? You know, and that's really what I did say was going to come up with the Pisces moon. And we're doing this for me as we're at 0 degrees Pisces. You particularly are going to want the dream, but there's also the devil in the detail that needs looking at. But I did say a lot of us will be looking at love, looking at money, looking at career and where we're going and our value systems. Hi, Ben. And then getting to a place where we are needing to look at what would need to happen within our power to make that connection work. And it takes two to tango. So on your side, there particularly could be some healing. This is a great time for cord cutting, but you have to get to the full moon that you are being open to the potential. You're being open to the psychic downloads. Signs and synchronicity is going to be very high. But you can't manifest when we're in that lower vibration of, more the distorted masculine or the distorted feminine. It's going to push your energies through your chakra system, particularly for certain zodiac signs. There can be blockages, which I may start to do ascension within your star sign so that you can pick up where your pain body's going to come from, what chakra is active, and how it directly can impact you through the transits. So what we have... Okay, there's something changing here. And this change at the moment, in order for the connection to come, it's almost, and I did say this, there's something that needs to go. Jenga was September for me. This is the way, this is the name I'm calling September is Jenga. Definitely from a spiritual point of view, we're looking at this connection where we could have very firm beliefs. We could feel as though, thanks Google, that, we know what needs to happen on our side of the fence, but are we privy to all the information on their side? Some of us do know what our twins are going through, whether they're in a partnership, whether they're married, whether they have children or they're having conflict with a family, whatever that is that you're privy to. We can particularly be looking at it more from an emotional point of view and saying, but how does that directly impact me? And the thing is, yes, it does, but no, it shouldn't. It does because in the joint connection to join, usually it will mirror on your side as well. So I always say this is a great time to do cord cutting when it comes to karmic energies. And that can be whoever you had a grievance with. This is a perfect time to do a cord cutting. But you have to go into the heart space and release them. And that's forgiving yourself for a circumstance, forgiving them. And forgiving doesn't mean you are saying it's okay. It means you're cutting that cycle and you're willing to move into a new chapter of your life and be open to the potential of it changing. A lot of us aren't going to be ready for that. And that's the thing. Unless we're vibrating at that level, we're actually in that protective mode, and that prevents the connection from coming towards you, unfortunately, right? But it's all divinely guided. You're not going to not get your union. Your harmony and your ascension continues, whatever path you choose to do. I'm just saying. Okay, so there can be hurt relating to the past with the give and take, hurt in the situation. I am seeing through the cards, there is a circumstance at the moment that is putting both in a little bit of an entanglement, but at the same time, it's causing conflict in a sense of the reason why individuals aren't jumping into this partnership. Now, this could be for some that they are set to lose a lot, and it doesn't have to be money. But this is going to the past, which is good. but there is something that was really holding them back in a situation and preventing them from physically moving forward. There was a blockage in the path, and I wouldn't say a pebble, I'd say, a big boulder, so to speak. This, for some, yes, it was money. For some, it was relating to the give and take. It was also, I do feel, in divine masculines and feminines' life, it was to do with the fact that at some point in your life, you gave a hell of a lot, and your concern was, well, sometimes it's that vibration where we feel, oh gosh, I've given so much, so next time I'm just not going to give, right? I'm going to give less, and then I'm protected, and then I'm safe. And so it's this fear of opening up, fear of rejection, fear of being looked upon as silly or presumptuous, for instance. So there's a caution that both parties in this connection are holding, even though deep down there is this conditioning that we're actually purging at the moment. And I do really see that as a large theme. We do have the Empress here in the joint connection. For some, there could be a circumstance relating to a mother, but I'm really feeling it's more to do with our upbringing and changes. Yeah, definitely. This is, I do see some individuals might be dealing with a karmic that is a mother. It can be a DNA mother. It may be a biological mother. I do see divine masculine does want to join with you and create with you. I do see divine feminine is upset that they didn't do such. They didn't partake in the circumstance and continue through. But we are in the here and now, and this is really from only where we can go. Do you know what I mean? But again, we are doing we're doing a little bit of emotional changes in this mix, and I see that there's nervousness. Okay, let's pull a clarifier on this. They want to go further. They want to go deeper. I do feel divine masculine is being very cautious about what they're saying. This can be in relation to how they feel about you. They're being cautious about who they share this information with. For some of you, you may hear some gossip. Yep, I'm telling you. So they could be talking about you and what they want to happen, okay? But they are actually communicating with people that they feel that they can trust. They're thinking about the bigger picture of how everything's going to come full circle, how groups will actually merge, and, where they'll live, what it will look like. Some information can come through that can actually trigger both parties. Some of you, it could have been something that you heard about what was going on. This doesn't have to be a third-party situation, though, but it could be something that's quite shocking that your twin is actually going through, and I do feel some of you are going to be privy to this information. It's going to take you back a little bit, like, oh, what does that mean? Yeah, it's something that, it could pull a trigger up in you. Some of you are presuming that, you're feeling as though maybe those that are in a karmic relationship, it's happier than you think. What do I mean by that? It could be something that you see and you're realizing, oh, maybe this is set in stone. Maybe they're not going to leave. And you're really guided to, especially this month, my best advice would be when you are observing the circumstance, not everything is going to be what it seems normal, it stay the same. So things can radically change and do a 360 very, very quickly. So particularly if you're seeing something on social media and it's appearing that, I'll give you a random example, they're moving in together, or a beautiful photo on Facebook and they look ever so happy, something's going to do a 360. It's not staying this way. So whatever it's bringing up in you, though, try and get to the space that you can sit with it for a bit and see why in a shadow sense. What I'll do is I'll open the door, bear with me, and just in case it's happening on my side, and then the internet will work a bit better if it's my side. It is Mercury. Mercury retrograde. back. Better put the chat back or I won't get to see what you're saying. Yeah, something's going to happen very quickly. It is going to be a change of plans. It's going to happen quite suddenly. Where it does come to juggling, there's something to do with this partnership coming up. Look, I actually see some of you actually meeting, having a conversation, digging into the devil in the detail of, what this is going to be, where this is going to go. For some of you, I actually feel a very heart-centered energy. This can be an outpouring of emotions of how this particularly made you feel in the mix. But there is a part, this thought process, some of you are even saying, okay, do I actually want this connection? Is this connection best for me? Which really is a twin flame path, man. That's all I can say. Trust me, I've been where you've been. I totally have been where you've been. Part of ascension is to do with growth. A lot of it is healing, which, I was very pissed off about. Let's just be perfectly honest. I was like, really? At points in my twin flame path, which I continue to be on such, it's part of my life. It's my life, right? And I don't mean twin flame is my life. I'm meaning the path that I chose. It is an ascension process, and it does become you becoming the yin and yang. At the moment, we will look at divine feminines in a minute, and then masculines. So there is questions to do with partnerships here. There's questions to do with this. I do feel divine masculine is very focused on this, even though for some of you, you may not be seeing the physical movement. Generally, what tends to happen, which I did mention to Giggle this morning, hi, Jan, is that you generally, especially when you're seeing a lot of twin flame videos and they're talking about the connection and they're in a particular position and it's looking like union and you keep hearing union, and you go, where bloody hell is it? It will always happen coming through in the cards first and then transition towards you. But if it triggers you, it's supposed to, because it's about disconnecting. And what's Pisces? It's the dream. And Neptune is retrograde as well, and Mercury too. And Juno currently is in Pisces. So a lot of divine feminines at the moment are going to be going into that question mode. I'm in the 5D, but can it be in the 3D? And you have to understand both exist. But you have to let go and not embody the distorted attributes of masculine, which can be control tendencies, and just harmonize it inside yourself, and like attracts like, so it'll come towards you. And I'm only giving you advice of what I had to go through. There could be a divorce here in the mix for some. If there is a divorce, like say for instance your twin is married and there is a divorce or there's a severing of a contract, there is something, they're making reference to a circumstance that would need to happen first for this to be so, right? And that could be something that's actually quite, triggering some of you. I'm seeing a few energies. Now, one is that they are dealing with a family-related dynamic. Could be a mother, father, unwell, ill, dealing with that circumstance. The other could be an unwell karmic. And the third is a severing of a contract in some shape or form, and how that's going to look, looking at the opposite. For some, yes, it could be marriage, but they're making reference to something that needs to end, to shift. The instability is already there so that this transition can occur. This particularly is triggering divine feminine, even though what you aren't aware of is this is also triggering masculine. This is frustrating them. They know what the situation is. They know what needs to happen. It doesn't make it any easier that they know that you need them. You should want them, not need them, right? If you can write down what you need and why it would help, what the fear is, there is the solution right there, and work on that energy. What do I mean by that? Sometimes spiritually, we can be fearing our direct foundation is falling down. I'm noticing the home in reverse, and it's like, can I deal with this? Am I going to be okay? Those circumstances of integration is necessary. Definitely, if you do your chart and you look where your Mars placement is, it's going to give you a bit of a hint as to what you need to spiritually work on within your divine feminine. It's usually what we will seek outside of ourselves. And that's a bit of 101 for the healing to help unblock that situation. Okay, there is going to be a separation here. And it's funny. Some of you might even know that your twin is single and you're saying to yourself, okay, if twin is single, then why is this not moving? Some can be breaking habit, but initially they're going to tap into it before they break it. I'm going to pull a card here. Your values this week might be a bit funky and a bit off. It's not that you don't value each other. It's that you are raising the benchmark. But again, that can be out of protectiveness. There's a lot of chemistry here. Potential anger spiking. You're going to be surprised. I do feel some of you are going to be surprised how much you are valued by your counterpart. For some, there can be a conversation and they actually express how they feel towards you. It's old situations you're going to go over. You know, old situations and a surprise. Okay, some of you are you're in two minds. Okay, I'm going to get into your feminine read because a lot of it's coming through in the in between read. Look, I do see that divine masculine at the moment through the joint connection is wanting to get to you. I do see some of them actually having a circumstance that is going to cause a great deal of loss. It's either hurt, it's either shadow work, but divine feminine does want divine masculine. But there's a bit of a question mark over it, Dales, because the question mark is I don't trust you. And that's what I see coming through with this read this week. And that's because of old wounds that are coming up. It's because you're feeling, would this be, you know, this attachment? I remember having a candid conversation with my twin. And years ago, I always wanted a surety. And I do laugh about that now because there's nothing assured in life. But I had this obsession with having to know how it would play out, if it was going to be safe, because there was usually something I had to walk away from. And that could have been a relationship. It could have been a circumstance. It might have been being open and, you know, throwing caution to the wind like the Fool card. Funny enough, Pisces is 0 degrees. And it's the Moon card in Tarot, but also 0 degrees is the Fool card in Tarot. So through our emotions and our conditioning, what we have been taught that is safe, we're critiquing at the moment and we're going, then, you know, if that's so and I'm continuing to do such through my conditioning, then why does it feel so bad? Something in you is wanting to take a leap forward, but something in you is saying, there's lots of pebbles there. I'm going to hurt my feet. And I'm a bit wary about that. But you do, I can see we've got the consistency card coming up and the hands are on the hips. And it's funny, the red's there, which is to do with your conditioning, right? Sometimes we think we know everything that's going on. Yes, it can be to do with betrayals that you had and lack of faithfulness. And, you know, even if there is a surprise, would you be open to it? Would you be open to the connection? At the moment, spiritually speaking, divine feminines are being tested because Juno is retrograde. So generally it is like a Venus retrograde. It's happening in Pisces. We also have Mercury in Libra retrograde. Spiritually, it does tend to change you too. Every Juno retrograde I've moved through, I have had a change in status in the relationship. Sometimes I have been on my own while I've been going through that transition, and I definitely have gone through a spiritual revelation, and I'm usually regressing backwards and assessing it and weighing the scales, right? And it can be quite purgatory. And then after, I look at something totally different. So I do see for some of you, you know, you're moving through that. but you're really in your mind about communication here. What you have to ask yourself is, can we communicate effectively? Can we communicate in a calm manner? Not through if you're going to have communication with this individual, my advice would be, and it's totally up to you how you do it, is to be direct, right? Not, try to steer clear of subliminals. Because we do tend to, with the subliminals, it's like, okay, this is a safe way I can communicate. I'm not going to look silly. I'm not going to look stupid. I'm not going to put my foot in it. Cut to the chase. Be direct with your communication. I'm noticing the energy looking up. Look at the moon and it's Chiron. So what you could say on your side needs to come from a place of love, especially when we're really pissed off. And also needs to be direct, so the person understands what you're trying to get across. But also, a lot of you can be maybe having issues sleeping, maybe having a lot swirling around in your mind at the moment, but you are thinking about communication. Some of you are actually wanting to communicate. That's what I was getting. It was like, I've got something to say. I'm going to communicate with this person. Just ask yourself the question anytime you want to go into communication. Am I sending a statement piece or am I asking a question and trying to get a reaction? I used to say to myself, my twin has my number. Just like I had his. He had my number. I don't, So it's up to you how you deal with this energy this week. Something's coming up and you're like, are you reacting from a place of a wound? Could be. Okay? Could be. Could you communicate abruptly this week? It could. I'm just saying. Yeah. You're looking at what you used to get before and you want so much more. Yeah. Even, before you would have been happy with a little crumb, a start of something. Some of you maybe did have communication. This could have been over the last 2 months. That's what I'm being shown. And particularly you may have thought it was go and then it was dead in the water again. It does make sense. Astrologically, I do say between now and October, movement, communication, unions. But remember, the 12th house is an ending, so we just got to come to terms with that. Think back to how you felt in August. Some of us who had Virgo transiting over our 12th house was like, oh, so fatigued, so emotional. Just needing to get grounded, very tired. Could you imagine partying around that? Probably not. Pacifier is going to come up for all of us, but you particularly looking at the connection going on. Pages for me are in the past. Pages for you are in the past. Some of you maybe did think that this person also had a child, I'll just say. Okay, some of you are like, I don't want to be left on the shelf. You're not going to get left on the shelf. I'm just saying, you're not. Am I going to grow old alone sort of thing? That's kind of how some of this has come through very depressed through these transits. So it could be that you're, fearing that you're going to be alone, fearing you're going to grow old and that that's going to be it sort of thing. So I did say yesterday, watch your psyche. Where's your faith? Have your faith, have your dreams. Know that you're not going to be alone. Some of you are looking at this connection like, okay, I want to weigh the scales. Remember, it's Mercury retrograde in a Venus house. So we are weighing the scales naturally, but it's psychologically. It can come through in sputum in our conversations. It can come through in psychological belief systems. It can come through in our reactions. And Karmic's going to react this way very aggressively. So just check it, because I feel some of you are looking at like, okay, how long is this going to take? Are we there yet? So particularly you can be getting frustrated. It's causing a lot of stress. You're ready for a king. You're wondering if this person's a king. Masculine is trying to get through the shadow work, but does want a fresh start. Already coming through in their mind. Okay? Already coming through in their mind. I want a fresh start. I want to be happy in love. This can be in money. This can be in contracts. But it is in this connection. They're looking at it and they do want this fresh start. And I have been seeing 5s relating to Libra and twin flame path, right? And 5s are all about massive changes. And I can see this as a potential, really looking at the base chakra. Whatever this is, it can get a little bit messy before it gets better. You think about it. Depending on the circumstance your twin's going through, for instance, if they're married, they'd need to physically divorce. They'd need to leave the house. They need to have the hard conversations. They need to disperse assets. So it's not, you know, without expectations, again, Virgo will ask us to be realistic and look at the details. Yeah, I know. And the other thing is, you know, it's not to say that it's going to go in that systematic order. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's also about getting the detail, but also then looking at you at a personal level and going, okay, would you forget that person then? Could you move forward? How would that make you feel? Can you communicate effectively where you can be honest with this person and say, you know, I'm not, could you wait 50 years? Maybe. But you're supposed to be present in your life regardless, right? These are coming up for the masculine, the emotions relating to their family, their home. There's a lot of shadow work. They're trying to get through it. They are moving through this ascension process at the moment, but it's a lot of 12th house for them, which is endings, new beginnings, having the courage, breaking old patterns. That's what's coming up for masculines. So, you know, it's a little bit like, and I said this ages ago, especially in 2017, 18, we had Chiron and Pisces. It's like asking a person who's on a sickbed to come and party with you. And you're like, are you there yet? That's their transits. It doesn't happen on our clock, right? So they're freaking out that they're losing everything as well. And this could be inheritances, legacies. It could be money that they've worked hard for. It could be connections that they had connected to, but not necessarily in love with anymore. And it's like, how will I be looked upon? It's a lot of uncertainty, right? But they're still moving through it and they're going, you know what? I'm struggling, but I know I have to do it. I'm struggling. It's keeping them up at night. They're really at a loss to how do I make everyone happy? I want my fresh start. I do. I don't know if I trust my instincts. Am I crazy? The gods are crazy, right? But their guides are actually protecting them, helping them shift into the shadow work to do the reflection, which technically can look a little bit like hermit mode, right? I'm going to pull some more. Let's see which ones. Guys, which cards should I? These ones. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? I mixed 2 decks here. You should see the size of them. They became my, look at that. 2 decks. He needs to lose all the people who have been blocking his growth. Okay, so in a mirror, who would you need to lose to prevent you from blocking your path? Because it's the mirror. Whenever I would see something that I felt my twin needed to do, I literally wrote it down, went and had a cup of tea, and I come back and I went, oh, shit. And everything I wrote, I physically had a blockage and I was angry at myself on my side of the fence. And, you know, honestly, once I started addressing those things, I literally, sorry, my, you're a dog. Yes. No, not those things. Deck. Keep it clean. Yeah, I literally, when I was doing the shadow work, I'd write it down. I was really pissed at that time. I was like, right, I'm writing it down. What are these things? This is what he needs. Healthy boundaries with individuals. Sticking up for himself. Meaning what he said and saying what he meant. And he always did. It was me that didn't. I didn't want to hear it. So, yeah, you know, people aren't, trust me, karmics are not the blockage. It's permission based. So when we are the conditioning, all conditioning at the moment, the Virgo energy, the moon transit of Pisces, it's to do with our values, our religion, our expectations, our belief systems. Look what we're saying about the Queen. And each one of you will have your own perspective. Virgo is, are we casting a critical eye? I mean, I could say the word Kardashians and I can guarantee you'd have a perspective. Why? Because Pisces is the value system from where we came. Now, just because our value system came that way does not mean that your twin flame grew up the same way as you. They did do things differently. They did have similar experiences to you, but it's due to those things that at times we can struggle to make major decisions because we have to forgive ourselves. So, what are they going to do in relation to this circumstance? Number one, I do see them accepting it. It's just going to be painful, that's all. But whatever this is, it is painful. And some of these things, it's not even that it's painful anymore. It's that, hey, say, for instance, they could be married and they're like, okay, I'm really not happy with this. But guess what? Now I've got to do the paperwork, got to have a conversation. I need to choose to leave. And it's really not about another person. It's about accepting the fact that, you know, something happened, something went down, and now you have to do the legwork. Yeah, they're very cautious. They're cautious to do with their movement forward. They know that they can make this happen. Okay, something's being manifested out. I think it's during this phone they're actually thinking, okay, I need to make a decision. I need to make a decision in this. They don't see that they're in a current situation they're in, there is no fixing it, right? It is what it is. This is going to their past, which is positive. The situation that wasn't working is going to their past. Some were going to move. Some were going to be working away. But there is a particular journey that has come to an end. And so due to that, there's shadow work, there's depression. They're having faith in the process, but where they were going to go, they're not doing that anymore. There's something that is coming to an end, something that is physically stopping. It's funny, I'm noticing the bird on the back, and this is faith in the process, and this is in the movement forward position, having to move into the circumstance, and actually now is going to open the doors for these brand new beginnings for them. And I'm noticing the bird. There's a lot of birds here. I feel for us subliminally. Birds at the moment are going to have subliminal messages. It's really funny because I've been seeing a lot of birds. I've been seeing a lot of cockatoos. Cockatoos are monogamous. They actually mate forever. So I would say spiritually, Divine Masculine has felt that you were their mate, but it was okay. Now that, you know, all has been said and done and where we stand right now, what do I spiritually need to do to have this transformation? And to be very transparent, I mean, I'm looking at the Beware card with the lizard, and it's almost like a chameleon, really showing their true colors of how they feel about you, being quite open and transparent in their heart space. And, you know, seeing the connection to this and being able to be open with it, seeing the full potential of who they are. Yeah, for a long time, the good thing is what's going to the past is no longer living for other people, but living for themselves. And that has to happen in order to get into harmony with self. So I feel they were trying to make everyone around them happy. There is regrets. There were some pretty shitty situations that they dealt with. Okay, surprise for Divine Feminine. That's what I'm hearing. What does that mean? Surprise for Divine Feminine. What bloody surprise are you given? Okay, what is this, please? Ooh! You need to be open to the connection, Divine Feminines. I'm going to pull a tarot on that one. Sorry. I just whacked the cards down in front of the microphone. Oh. Okay, some of you are thinking this person is way too prideful to do this, but they're actually saying lower the guard, be open to communication, be open to seeing the full potential. They're going to show you. But we do have pride as the outcome. Okay? Did my super chat go through? Ooh. Okay, you're going to have to be brave, because what they're going to do is come towards you. You might be thinking it's all over Red Rover. Just be open. You know, I do recall when I had my first reconnection, prior to this complete union. I never call it complete. It's always a work in progress. What I would say is I was pretty stroppy. I wouldn't say stroppy. Direct. Maybe presumptuous, but not really, because I've been on the twin flame path for 25 years. So could you be direct and say what you need to, how you see things going? Yeah, just lower the guard. Speak from the heart. If you have to talk about the things that hurt you, go for gold. Oh, we're going down that rabbit hole, are we? They're talking... yeah, they're having naughty talk about you. This is more... Okay. Dawn, are your guides messing with me again? I just got a message for Dawn. Your twin wants to smack you. I'm telling you, some people's guides absolutely crack me up. What? Really? I'm going to smack you. What did you do, Dawn? What'd you do now, Dawn? So, what am I summing up from this? I'm summing up that broken-hearted divine feminine hair, and some of you are very nervous. Some of you are feeling as though you want to bloody get a move on, but they're asking you... this is what I'm getting. And I'm a feminine as well, so I'm going to have to cop it sweet myself. Pride cometh before a fall. Is there something that we need to have some empathy on? Maybe we're very protective of ourselves. Hear them out. Hear them out. Yes, if you need to make a decision, 100%. It's for you. Okay? It's okay for you to cast a critical eye on the situation and say, hey, this is for me or this isn't for me. But it feels like they're saying, look, I want to be able to talk to you. Trust me, I will talk to you. I'm going to come towards you and speak to you. You're picking up on it already. You're picking up on it already. The communication is coming in. Mercury retrograde is not a bad time to have communication. It's actually a great time to just chuck it through and PayPal, Dawn, if you can't do it here. You know, you want me to put it in the community post. I'm going to have to start doing that. The day before, I'll have to update some of the updates. Any questions? I'll answer the general questions first. Anything to do with ascension or a circumstance. But if it's a romantic-based question, it's super chat. What I do see is there's an emotional time coming up here. Some of them could be a little bit grumpy. Some of them, if they are feeling pressured or judged, they could get snappy with you. That's the pride card that was coming in. They could be saying things maybe that are a bit hurtful, but just gauge. It's a little bit like walking into a room, gauging where the person's vibration's at. And sometimes we're so in the thick of the vibe that we physically don't see how they're feeling. That we don't really care. We just want to say what we need to say. I'm going to fix this hair because looking at myself in the camera is irritating me. It's doing a Mercury number on me. I'm telling you, I so regret cutting my hair. It used to be so much longer. I said to Twin, I don't like the conditioner we're using. It's not working for me. It's making me fuzzy. It is. It's making me fuzzy. I'm going to have to bind it. I'll probably get a headache now. This hairband is too, it's knotted. Okay, there. Who we got? Okay, Giggle Glimmer, Ben. I'll have to do Sally. I'll do Sally first because she paid yesterday, right at the last minute. So I'll quickly chuck Sally's in and we will get into the list. Sally, if you're here. Oh, yeah, she said yesterday, how do I join the YouTube members? Always from a computer. I do think they might be changing it. And it could be because they're doing on our end in YouTube as people that are monetized on YouTube. They're changing a lot of the things in the background with the analytics, with the app that we're using. So I do believe at a point they are going to make it usable. And it's not that if you have an Android phone, you can't join the YouTube membership. It's about maybe going to a friend's house, signing up on it needs to be on a computer at this stage. But I will put a form up and maybe put it on my page and we can share it directly to YouTube if that's something you guys would like. And then when we do go to our video updates through the YouTube channel, I can actually make a suggestion that potentially to make it, you know, part of, what would you call it? Yeah, part of the process so you guys can sign up via your telephone. But I do believe it's possible, but at this point, it needs to be through a computer. Sally, left over from yesterday. Yes, there you go. There you go. Yes, Sally came in the last minute. I was already doing the meditation on the full moon in Pisces video. So I had to say, hey, Doug, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, so Sally. Her guide's cracked me up. Sally, you're stuck in your head, okay? You're feeling stuck. You're doing a bit of healing at the moment, doll, okay? Especially on this twin flame path. Yeah, I would do a third eye clearing. Also, be open to it, you know, be open to realizing that we've all had a past. I feel that there is this chemistry between the both of you and it almost feels binding. In your ascension path, there does come a point where there's no going backwards. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of you who have been on this path for a long time and realize it's like, you know, you just can't deny it. It's like you are who you are. So I feel it's about accepting where you are on your path, that things can change and that we've all had a past, right? So when we have had a past, trying to find that, I feel you clearing. I think you need to do an aura clear, but also I would say third eye and heart chakra, because there's a lot of healing here. It's like you're perplexed. You're kind of looking at going, well, hey, I'm really attracted to this person, but at the same time, you know, that past, you know, you spiritually might have a little bit of a purge where you're trying to get past the things that happen, and it can be abandonment-related wounds. But I do feel you're feeling quite stuck. Yeah, to do with the cheating, betrayals. It's the past, though. The person will be very different on the other side, but it has changed you as well. So what's crossing you at the moment is the feeling that you can't move beyond such. Outcome at this point in time. Well, okay, they're trying to show me a date. I feel moving into summer for you, where you are in the world, Sally, I feel that it's almost the beginning of summer. I'm feeling like, especially because I know she's in Australia, it feels October-ish, end of October, because I'm seeing the daylight in the area of where you are. I'm seeing around that time you're going to have movement. I feel a conversation coming through with this person. I feel the person's going to be very different. They're definitely not as happy as you think. But just let them sit in that situation for them to close it out themselves. I feel also where you're living, you're going to move. And I do get that this person that they're with is going to leave them. I don't, how do I put it? It's almost like a trauma bonding connection, how the two of these individuals got together. You're thinking they're never going to leave this, but this is closer than you think. They're definitely showing me a time where it's going to be, moving into summer. I'm seeing it's almost like dusk, and I'm seeing the change of color. And I'm also feeling when you're coming outside of your premises and you're walking outside, it's like you're going to smell something in the air, and it's fresh and it's summer. But I think you're going to have an inkling that you're moving. And I feel really trust your instincts, but that's the time stamp psychically that my guides are giving me. Of a change that is going to happen in your life. And they're saying, don't get scared, go with it, whatever that transition is, because that next chapter is actually going to open that door. And it's simultaneously linking to something that your twin is going to go through, and it's thereafter that you're connecting. I hope that helps. So who we got next? We have Giggle. Hi, Giggle. Geminis and Virgos, probably, as Mars goes retrograde, you're probably not going to get a lot of sleep, Giles, for about 6 months. So get your sleep when you can. Mars retrograding over that, you can't burn yourself out, though. You've got to look after yourself. You could burn out. So get the things done you need doing now. Get your sleep where you can. You won't be sleeping later. You're going to be insomniacs. What we got here, I love the way these cards work. What we got here is failure to communicate. What the hell is that? It's still single. Look, I'm going to pull a chakra card. I feel something to do with the house. Both of you got house shit going on. I don't know why. Whenever I channel your twin and his home, that home for me, there is something in that. It's almost like, I don't know why I keep getting, it's almost like this person, there's a connection to that house and the family. Do they own the house in the family still? I'm definitely seeing they just keep harping on about this bloody house in the family. Do they own it anymore? You crack me up. Here's Giggle's response. Good one, Giggle. He owns it. Okay. Is he living in it? Now, what he's been struggling with is it's clearing the energy relating to a passing of a relative, but it's bringing it back up. Now, it's either they're going to move into it or they're going to sell it. There's something, but that they are making like adamant reference to not the one that is not the mother's or the father's or the DNA related house, but the physical house that is relating to the mother is something that he is going to be choosing to let go of, either from an emotional point of view or from I'm selling it point of view. And it's a huge breakthrough, okay? Here, DNA is coming through. Hi, Ellison. They have been so adamant about this for the last 6 months. It's the best way I could describe it, and they just keep harping on about it. So I had to make a really big point about it this time. He's had a lot of hurt relating to his family. He's been holding on to it. He hasn't been letting go. He's getting ready for a new chapter, and he feels that this loved one on the other side, he knows it's time that he must let go. He feels that it's time to have this new chapter. He also feels that his life is very important and that he's getting older And that, you know, especially with times when we see people in the collective passing, it's like, yeah, time is relevant. We do need to be using our time effectively. And I feel he's getting the downloads. He's using the time to really reflect upon this. I do think something is going down with his parent, I'd say father, that he's been a bit concerned about. I don't necessarily think they're best friends or anything like that, but I do feel there's been a little bit of concern, maybe around his health. But again, there's a new chapter coming, and I do feel, let's pull another one. He's also relating to this being a 41 card. I do feel he is aware of the spiritual connection between you and him, but he also feels this is part of, he wants to get married. I'm telling you, he's a character. He has faith in you, right? Outcome place. Blockage, please. $12,000. You dork. He wants to get married. No, I'm pulling for the karmic. I'm not feeling the karmic heads up. I am not feeling the karmic around. If he is dealing with the karmic, there's conflict, right? There's conflict. He's thinking about you, right? But he is getting this vibe. Yeah, I'm telling you, they're not normal. Your twin, when I channel him, he is very independent. He's a very interesting fella, right? I'd love to have a couple with him. Maybe a Johnny on the rocks, but you know, this individual, mark my words, is very old-fashioned. I'm Tarzan, you're Jane. I am planning this. And he knows you're going to go down the rabbit hole with jiggy jiggy. And he's like, getting jiggy with it. The thing is, he's planning for the future, babe, right? He's like, okay, this is what I see. I'm trusting my instincts. My mum always liked her. She's my dream come true. How do I make this dream come true? He knows you're pissed off at him. I'll say that much. Does he get worried that you're going to be with somebody else if he doesn't get his shit together? Yes, he does. He gets up in his head and he freaks the frig out. It's a cross on his mind. But his blockage right now, he's working through it. It's his mind. It's to do with the Pisces transits, which does make sense, especially relating to a zodiac sign. Where is, I know his zodiac sign. It's happening in his 12th house, which is, I need a drinky drink. I need to come to terms with things. Is everything going to be okay? It's going to be fine. But he's also dreaming, and he's like, okay, I can problem solve this. I can problem solve this. I have faith in myself. I'm using my intuition. I'm listening about Libra, right? He's holding his cards close to his chest, but he's using his intuition when it comes to this situation. Look at this. You. Do I get an invite? If you guys get married, I want a digital invite. If I can't make it there in person, a digital invite. Okay. List. Lord have mercy. Well, Giggle had a very interesting situation last week, and I said to her, you need to check what star sign that individual is. I think it was, yeah. And sure enough, it was Pisces, because there's an ending with situations, but there's a new beginning, okay? So, I'm telling you, this person's really old-fashioned. He actually reminds me of my twin. I'm telling you. Ben, how you doing, Ben? And YouTube's playing silly buggers with me, but I can't blame them because it is Mercury retrograde. The comments and the things for the videos, because always when we do share a video, now I'm going to go back and check in the held for review. So I went in there and I authorised it, and now I can't bloody find them. Okay. So the in-laws' house has been leased, so the door is now closed. Today I received notification that the owner of this house wants to sell. I've forgotten what zodiac sign you are, Ben. What zodiac sign are you again? You'll have to do your chart. I'm guaranteeing you've got other placements, because I know Sagittarius is moving at the minute. Sagittarius are moving. I feel Pisces. Yeah, Mars is going to be in retrograde. It's already active for you, right? So for you spiritually, it's a full moon in Pisces, so it's personal. You're like, oh my God, moon in Aquarius. Yeah, well, the Aquarius transit as well. You've got Uranus and Taurus, which was a lot of changes in house. But it's also teaching you to understand that home is, home can be changeable, but it's teaching you how to, all of those placements that you've mentioned have subjects to do with home. Because the moon relates to home. But from your sun sign, I'd go probably your moon sign. I'd be looking at that, because you do tend to, as we get older, we transition into that. And I find a lot of that has happened for me over the years, is that I'm Libra, got Cancer in my chart. So a lot of subjects do tend to happen on a 3D in that area for me quite a bit, even though I've got lots of placements in Scorpio. Let's pull a chakra card. What am I saying? Ben, are you having a transition of job? You do realise when you have a moon placed in your zodiac sign, everything's changing. Everything. Your look, your identity. You can feel like you're having a midlife crisis. You can feel like, where do I go from here? But you do have Mars at the moment transiting your fourth house of home. So there can be a lot of conflict with your kids. You can be getting really grumpy. You can be very tired. You got the house, like it's affecting you. It is affecting you. It's like, okay, this is all popping off. This shit is going to shit. What the heck do I do in this circumstance? Be careful with your communication. So Mars will retrograde at the end of October, and it'll be sitting in that position for the hot entirety between 7 to 8 months. But you may also be looking at, and this could be a major thing that you will be looking at, particularly, especially from that Pisces placement. If, for instance, a person owned a home, you would be working out how to balance the connections, the relationships, the people around you. Some will be working to save for a house, and that will be over from, I would say, starting off now all the way through to January 2023, right? And you're going to be working hard on that to put a lot of energy into that area. Could even be home-based businesses, right? Let's see what comes up. I would say as Mercury goes retrograde, applying is a really good time, because, again, Gemini is Mercury. I'd also say, and I'm pulling the cards, I'm going to tune in psychically as well. Also, you tend to find if you put a lot of applications in now, you're going to have the pick of it, because as Mercury goes direct, again, it's another Mercury energy linking to your fourth house, you'll actually be able to have movement there. But that would be my advice for you. The only thing that comes to mind is to soothe myself. Honestly. Yeah. You're like, why isn't anything going right? You're like, seriously, universe, what are you trying to tell me? What is going on here? You're trying to calm it. You're like, I don't know, was it more stressful that you potentially could have lived at your in-laws' house? Worst case scenario, you move in to the mother-in-law's house. Not the rental one, oh God, I have to live with my mother-in-law. I mean, so you kind of think you dodged a bullet, but did you? Yeah, you're like, we got the Lovers, but this can be a contract as well. Yeah, it could have been more cost effective, 100. I think you're concerned also, really relating to the cost of living. Yeah, well, that's what they're showing. They're wanting you. There's a reason why it's happening, Ben. Okay, you need to trust the process. You need to trust the process, but it will tell you your heart's truth. Yeah, you're like, look, oh God, you know, they easily could help you, but you know that there is there's a power struggle with that dynamic. I don't know why I'm getting, you're going to have some dramas with family, doll. Even Mars transiting your 4th house can be conflict and fights with family. That can even be your in-laws. Do you know what I mean? There also can be deep healing in that area. It could be a deep change. It could be a deep value point. It can be shifting and making up and seeing things differently. But you are like, no, that makes me feel ill. Yeah, you're like that. I can even feel your energy. Calm down. You're like, no, I'm kidding myself. I can't do it. Don't want to do it. Doesn't look nice. Not attractive. No, it's not hot. Yes, I feel you. All right. So, outcome, please. Okay, let's ask Mercury retrograde, opportunity for a home, and then Mercury direct, opportunity for a home. And I'll see what it says. Oh, but you fit, you're like, no, hell no. Okay, Mercury retrograde for a home, please. And I may pull a chakra card on each one. Mercury direct for a home, please. Do you have cells? There is an opportunity you physically could, you know, have a person that buys the house and they could want you to stay there. But I feel you've outgrown the house. Yeah, not during Mercury retrograde. If it does, they're saying read the fine print, okay? They could be maybe wanting more. It could be that when you go to the house, you actually have to offer more. Okay, during Mercury retrograde, outcome of a house, please. Yeah, you could have word of it. Direct, please. Yeah, you may be more, you can physically be in the house by it going direct as a possibility, but this also could be, do you have a timeline of when you have to move out? Because they're not showing me that. They're like, he doesn't need to yet. I don't know why. Particularly, it could be that you, it could be 2 things, Ben. 1, mother-in-laws. 2, it could be that you get news and you are moving on your way and things are flowing. So I think you've got a bit of time at the moment, but I do feel there's a potential during Mercury retrograde, if you were to, you know, put your feelers out, you can have more opportunities. That would be my advice to you. Be prepared. You'll know usually spiritually if it's happening generally because you tend to start packing and throwing things out. That is the psychic energy coming in a download, and it generally starts occurring naturally. So you get the body out. You get the body downloads. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you're throwing things away, it's coming closer than you think. Get prepared. So what do I need to do as my next logical step to help things flow? I would say applying. I would say getting your feels out, and also via your astrology, more than likely you will be really never wanting this to happen again. So spiritually speaking, especially astrologically, I see over the next 7 months, you are going to be saving for a house. You don't care if you live in the bush. I'll do anything I need to do, but it'll come up naturally. That is my advice to you, astrologically and spiritually. But the next step is be prepared, because you really do not want to. If you are pushed, Ben, into living with your in-laws, it's because you are having a chapter that you have to be honest with, and there could be something that is changing. If for instance, you get there, like, you know how we say, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. There are, unfortunately, some things that we can't do. So it can put a lot of pressure on your relationship, but it also may tell you a truth of where you physically stand in it. And you might go caravan park while they do. You're like, I can't, don't make me. Or you just, yeah. But I do see movement, nevertheless. But we attract these things in our life usually for a reason. So, see. Research clue. Hey, babe. What are we looking at, research clue? Thank you, Giggle, for moderating. Are your puppies behaving? Is Cookie sleeping? What's this? Okay. Where is research clue? Okay, the first card I've got is some. I feel you're going to have some communication coming in. I feel you're thinking about counterpart. I don't know. This person's thinking about you. I'm hearing Will Smith getting jiggy with it. What on earth is going on here? Cookie's sleeping there. Oh. Yeah, there's. We were doing this as look, I do feel this person is actually working something out. I feel they're in a, I feel you might be picking it up, you know, energetically through the cord that they're having arguments with an individual, but they're also taking no crap. Yeah, they're not taking any crap no more. No more, no more. Yep, they may hear something, but look, I don't think this is about you. I think you're going to hear about it. They could randomly turn up and give you a 101 of what's been happening, but they're in a different energy than they used to be, from what I'm seeing here today. Yeah, I'd say after the full moon, moving into the new moon Libra, you're going to hear some gossip. You're going to hear something's changed. But I don't know why I'm seeing this person physically coming to your house and having a chat. Yeah. It's like either Skype, telephone, turning up at your door. There's crap going down. Oh, man. Okay. This is a lot of gossip, okay? I think that what they're hearing is it's chasing them off. That's the polite way to say it. But there's a lot of hearsay here. There's a lot of gossip here. There's a lot of he said, she said, well, bloody, blah. But it's crap going down in the family. I don't think this is looking too pretty. A lot of fights. Okay, outcome of this, please. Outcome. Yeah. Decision made based on a karmic connection. This one's playing nasty. I don't think the other one's bowing down, though. Oh, joy. Well, there you go. Yeah, they're early. It didn't happen yet. Yeah, they were like presuming, but at the end of the day, nothing had happened. So calm your farm. Yeah, a lot of jealousy, a lot of insecurities, a lot of stalking. You're safe, right? You're just sitting on your tuffer, eating your curds and whey. These ones are going one flew over the cuckoo's nest. You and counterpart at the moment are watching a bit. Counterpart here is getting pissed off. Counterpart is not quitting, and counterpart is getting a bit frustrated with this all. Yep, ready to make a major decision. Yep, karmic families are being cut out. And when we say karmic families, it's more a cycle. So it could be that counterpart took a role in a situation. It's not, oh, they're bad, we're good. It's not, that's not what I'm picking here. I'm picking it's more a circumstance where counterpart here has outgrown a circumstance. Counterpart has been quite mature, actually. For a while, very patient, understanding, compassionate, very tolerant. I feel it's, but I do feel, I don't know why I get this, I do feel that the karmic has actually cheated or done something, something's coming out of the woodworks. And they're like, okay, well, that was easy, wasn't it? You're not happy, I'm not happy. Let's go. Yeah. That's what I got, my love. Interesting energy. But yes, possibly, yes, your karmic did. Who do we have next? Yep. Who do we have next, Giggle? Are you on it? Marie. Marie. I better get a move on. How long have I been here? Oh, yeah, well. What do I have for Marie? Oh, God, okay, you're looking at a circumstance. What are you dealing with, my love? You're trying to cast a critical eye on a circumstance and it's giving you a bit of a headache. You could be doing some paperwork as well. You're feeling a bit heavy. Hi, doll. Let's see. Okay, the first thing I'm hearing is a divorce. Marie, you or your twin married? It's a severing of a contract of some description here. There's a little bit of red tape, but whoa. Yeah, there is a fresh start coming. You're a bit stuck mentally at the moment. Yeah, it feels that, okay, at the moment in the mind, you're in the position where you're looking at it going, okay, this person's in a third party situation. Inside the energy, though, of the cards of what's come through is the entanglement, but there's regrets, okay? I don't know if this person has children or it's a family-related situation. This could actually be, it feels that there is a certain particular individual that's been chosen, okay? I do think inside this connection at the moment, there's a little bit of difficulty. There's regrets about the connection. They are looking at it very seriously. It feels like a heavy weight. There's a heavy weight on their chest. Yeah, I feel, look, they're looking at things that you've gone through. Now my daughter's calling me. She had an interview today. They're looking at what you've been through, what they're going to go through. But they do want to actually be with you, okay? They do want to be with you. They're worried about you. It feels very heavy on their chest. They're actually meditating upon how it's going to feel when they do it. But the outcome card is a fresh, so I think they're actually entertaining it. I mean, they've got all the cards here, which is showing me that pretty much they're thinking of following the same course of action. Okay, that's what I've got, doll. But it's heavy for them. Like, they're panicky, but they're also worried about you. They want to see you. They want to know you're okay. They want you to take a little bit of time for yourself. They have been picking up on you crying, I'm hearing. This is headaches, emotions, you know, a lot of third eye you've had going on. But they do feel anxious, but they're also looking at, you know, it's really funny. It's like they feel an alien inside their connection. Yeah. But I do think you're going to have communication from this individual, if you haven't already. Now they're freaking out. Okay, you're single. I'm not. You're going to get with someone. They got those worries too. Yeah, there's a lot of healing here. There is healing, but there's a lot of headaches. I'll leave it at that at this point. I do think you're going to get communication, and I think it's going to be a deep conversation. It's going to be a candid conversation about the past, about how you guys see life. I think they're going to check in on you, to check if you're okay, how you're traveling. I think how you communicate in a level of optimism will dictate how they have the courage to actually deal with it. Okay? Take care, doll. Kerry, how you been? Are you home yet, woman? Miss High Priestess, you're coming through as the High Priestess. What's going on with you? That's okay, doll. Not yet. You're not home yet. Thought you were going home before the moon. Or is it today? Okay, so what have we got? Look, Miss High Priestess. You're probably going to pick up on a lot of energy. Because I know your zodiac sign, right? Ride the wave. Drink a lot of fluid. You're going to get a lot of psychic downloads. But you are feeling overall pretty good. I wouldn't say fantastico. I wouldn't. But you're multitasking, right? You're going to get through it. There has been some sense of excitement in your own life of the opportunities and potentials, but then this nervousness comes in, but it's generally when you stop. You could have some old energy that is coming up, in the thoughts relating to this connection. You have had some very interesting thoughts lately, Carrie. What am I doing for my career? How do I feel about this connection? Yes, I have a lot of chemistry with them. Foundation level. You've also been thinking about your house and what you're going to do. Do you go back? Are you nervous about going home this week? Because it feels there's a little bit of nervousness. Okay, in relation to romantic interest. They got some crap going down. This could be a conflicting situation that needed to be addressed. This could be a contract at work or an old issue that was maybe, and I can't give legal advice, but it looks like a legal issue. I don't know. I get this. I get this feeling that they're wanting to free themselves out of this connection. It's very still there's a. They are kicking themselves, but they don't feel happy. Okay. I think the only thing I'm going to pull a chakra card. If it is a home-related environment they're in, and they're like, "Do I need to move?" I don't think there's an issue with that one. Relating to love. Okay, they're not happy in love, right? They're not happy in love. Very unstable. They want to be single, and there's a lot of manipulation. Now, I'm going to pull a clarifier on the energy of manipulation. Is this their side or the karmic third party, please? They're just not going anywhere. Kicking themselves because they took the wrong route. I don't ever think, so I used to say that quite a bit, and I'm like, if something teaches you something, is it the wrong route? I tried something. Yes, would there be regrets of hurting other people? 100%. Are there reasons, through trauma bonding? 100% we trauma bond. But I just feel for hurting you, yes, there's regret. Sometimes we go and we're angels fair to tread and then go, yeah, I really thought this was going to work. And no, I don't know what has gone down, but for this person's energy in the last 3 weeks, it's definitely been very detached from the karmic third party. I think it's the way they kind of cohabitate together. I just don't think it's merging. It's not meshing. The ideals aren't there. What is the problem? Let's get the problem. What's the problem in this connection? They've changed as well. They've just changed. I don't know. Something big did happen. I said it was the last 3 weeks. What is it, please? Okay, they've outgrown it. They're like, no. Bust out of your cocoon. It's like, okay, this home environment is not working. It came in reverse. They're reassessing it. They're like, no, something's happened and it just doesn't feel right, Kerry. Okay, they are not this, and this has happened a few times, even in our private reads. It usually doesn't. If a person's unhappy in a connection, they're either going to be spending a lot of time complaining about it, especially for those of you that are in communication with your twins, they're going to be complaining. And you can go through the stage of much ado about nothing because you're being the empath and you're being the, the detoxer of that situation to be morally supportive in some shape or form. Don't do that. Let them live it. We tend to grow quicker when we fall. We tend to grow quicker when we accept something for what something is. And you have to sometimes experience it to know. And that's how we learn. Very hard lesson sometimes, but learn. I hope the house correct. Yeah, no, it's not looking too good though. You are, you're thinking about running for the hills, maybe selling the house, changing things. You're making major moves on your actual life. And I do feel spiritually, especially from a twin flame point of view, when an individual in the twin flame path makes a decision to shift and no longer be blocked with their life, movement happens in the twin flame path. It always does. Thanks, Giggle. Warrior woman. Let's see what's coming through with your cards. I'll have to inbox Sally and tell her I did hers first. That's okay, Kerry. You're welcome. Okay. Okay, you do have I'm seeing a party or a function. I'm seeing something that you are, look, this could be something that you're about to launch, something you're about to do, but I do feel a physical function. I don't know why I'm picking a physical function. It could be a birthday, it could be yours or another person's, but I'm seeing something is going to be celebrated here. Look, the connection is there. So it's either you're already in the connection or the connection is about to be. You also could have other offers. But I do see your rate's very positive, Dale. You had been tied. There could be a block relating to maybe the connection, and you were a bit concerned about it and maybe needed a bit more clarity, but it was really out of your control. But I feel it's as you let go of that, a solution is actually going to come. And I do feel anything that you were really struggling with, especially over the last 4 weeks, it's like it's okay to just give yourself a couple of days and to move into the heart space. You've got the 10 of Cups here in your heart space. So you're open to this, but I do feel it's also going to be happening in your 3 days. So this is going to be you're going to have something to celebrate. But if you feel fatigued, let go. Take a couple of days, rest, recover. It usually happens that way prior to attracting it in. Doing heaps of letting go and connecting, feeling distant. Yeah, and it's like, I think the letting go, because we do embody more the distorted attribute of a masculine, which is the control-related dynamics. We go into panic mode and we feel if we're letting go, that means the connection's over. And it's like, no, we're not controlling it. So to, feel your self-worth, feel that universe is always going to bring to you what is due for you, what you are, willing to have, and just relax into it. You'll get this nagging, like you've got to go back into that humanistic monkey mind control, and it's challenging it to a point that it doesn't define you. And that's when like attracts like. You actually do tend to bring it back to you. But it's because for so long we have been in the run chaser mode and the, okay, we'll pussyfoot around it. I'll put words in your mouth. I'll help you. I'll enable you. Just let go. And as you let go, this is where the huge change comes. But you do have the 10 of Cups, sweet. So it's looking positive. Protect yourself against psychic attacks. You know how this goes. You've been on the journey a while. So letting go is like, I am trusting that this will come to me good. You're not my job, Look at it like, they're not my job. I'm just letting go, grabbing a non-alcoholic pina colada because, you don't want to do that at the moon. So if you have to, do it in moderation. Be aware of your surroundings. Clear your house. Have a shower the next morning or have a shower, Just look after yourselves. If you can avoid it, avoid pacifiers prior to and after the moon. Okay, who do we have? We have Dawn. Hey, Dawn. Did you send the SOS, Dawn? Yeah. Wow, you just got a very interesting message. I love Dawn's Guides. Dawn's Guides and me, we would just party. They are so cool. Okay, this song used to be part of my twin flame path. It was the Pussycat Dolls. And I think it's more an analogy that your twin actually is thinking that you're looking really good. That's irritating them even further. It's probably why God said they want to smack you. They are coming through as the King of Cups. Look, this person at the moment is trying to be fair to everyone. This person is in a difficult situation. This person is a kind person, but they're finding it very difficult to articulate how things are making them feel. So, how this is making me feel. They're wanting to. It's really getting a bit difficult, but they're wanting to. There has been some sense of immaturity in the circumstance, and they don't mean it to be that way, but it has played out that way, okay? Yeah, it has played out that way. So there's been, when we see pages, it's like wanting to, but, how to do it, how to say it, and it's like I said, just... Yeah, they feel down on themselves. Like they do want to be with you. They are in the predicament they are. They do feel you're very attractive. They do worry about you. They're more ready than you think. But they also know there's going to be quite a messy outcome in ending this, and people are going to get hurt. So they're in the same predicament as you, Dale. They're like, this is going to be messy. It hurts them to see that you're alone. It hurts them to see that they're not with you right now. They do feel they made the wrong decision in their life, and I don't ever think there is a wrong decision. It's a path. It may not make us happy, but it was something that was chosen, and it's where I do not think this person has been happy for a very long time. Do they care about the person? I would say they care. They do at times feel nagged. But I think with things that are happening at the moment in your counterpart's life, they just fell on the floor. It literally feels what they used to feel was a forever situation. Now they're questioning their logic. Now they're questioning, is this a death do you part situation? My life is running out. Am I happy? They're looking at divorce even. Okay? For a long time, they haven't been ready. They feel they have to choose. They know they're cheating themselves out of happiness. They know that you're getting fed up. They know that you want to move forward. They know that one day you guys are going to have a real candid conversation and the cat's going to get out of the bag. This could happen in the next 3 weeks. This could happen in the next 3 days. Just be really careful going into that conversation. It's nothing that they don't know already. It's just they haven't said it out loud. But we've got to see where the tantrums are coming from, right? The tantrums are coming through frustration. That frustration has not been alleviated. Neither for either one of you, really, because either one of you are really wanting to be very transparent and say, hey, we actually have feelings for each other. This is a very frustrating situation. I'm actually moody at the fact that I can't be here. I'm moody at the fact you misunderstand me. I'm moody at the fact that you don't understand I love you. I just keep hearing all these things. So it's not condoning the behavior. It's looking at why the behavior is coming up. And the behavior is coming up because what you're asking of him at this point in time means he has to come to terms with it and actually leave a circumstance. And he's angry at himself because he knows that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? Do I think a conversation is going to eventuate from this? 100% I do. And this is going to be to do with the third-party circumstance and what is going to be necessary to happen. Does that make sense? I think I'm going to pull a chakra card, but I actually think pending conversations happening, Dawn. I'm just going to FYI you. He's missing you. He, at times he hates himself. He doesn't mean to hurt you, but he wants you to be safe. He wants you to be okay. He wants you to be cared for, and he's very critical on himself. Yeah, the hurts are going to come up, but it's also going to give you guys an opportunity to have a candid conversation. I don't see anything bad here, Dale. I feel some honesty, some honest serum coming up. Does that make sense? And he knows people see it. He knows the karmic sees it. You know, none of you have done anything wrong. It's the connections there, the connections there. What do you do? You know, I tell you, I'm getting dehydrated. Oh, God, really? Didn't respond. Yeah, they kind of walk away from it, Dawn. They kind of get to a point that they... what do you say to it? It's like, because you'd have to admit, hey, the reason why I'm really frustrated right now is because I'm in a connection and I do worry about you. I do want to hang out with you. I want you to be okay. I want to be able to give you something. He's so pissed, Storm. He's so upset. He's smashing things around the house, like plonking cups down and things. So it's his therapy, right? It's a way that these things that trigger us, especially in the joint connection, tend to actually make us do shadow work. And, it's the storming out and walking away, give that person a little bit of space. They're then doing their shadow work. You're doing yours, and you're going, oh, was I pushing? Was I pressing? No, I don't like it when you treat me that way. Why are you being mean to me? Why are you being nice to that person but not me? So both of you are expressing and exhibiting your frustration, but I do think on this occasion he is actually realizing why. Okay? Bear with him. Oh, Lord. Dawn, make me get on my bloody hands and knees. It makes sense, but how do I navigate that conversation? You have to accept the practicality in your life, for instance, and say, okay, what am I expecting my twin to do in this instant? Remember ages ago we had a booking and I gave you some tips on what you could do. You need to find the moment for transparency and so, but you can only speak for yourself sort of thing. I wouldn't do it in a text message. I would do it in person. And I'd be really calm. There's no right time, doll. There honestly isn't. So, saying, look, okay, I'm going to be honest about the reasons why I'm frustrated. And this is part of being courageous and adult and transparent. I mean, how can we expect a twin to be transparent with us if we can't be transparent about our own feelings? And it's not really to do with the fight. It's to do with the frustration that we are in love with somebody that is currently, maybe for some of us, it is the person is in a partnership or, we are hoping for something. And it's not just the hope. It's that, look, I have feelings for you. At times that is complicated, especially if you're forcing me to go out to dinner with you and your karmic, and that's not really, please don't ask that of me. Do you know what I mean? Well, I'm not saying you shouldn't be upset, but it depends on what your outcome is. Do you know what I mean? Of course you should be upset. It's hurtful when people are less sensitive to our needs, and so it's okay to express it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But just saying, look, I'm finding it difficult to talk to you because, you're walking away, and that's a deal breaker. That's like, in order to be heard, in order to be respected, it's like, okay, we need to find a safe word. We need to find a safe way that we can communicate effectively, be aware friends or be aware partners, that we can get to a space that you're going to at least please hear me out. And when he says, but that's not what I did, you then need to say, but I am saying this is how it makes me feel. Do you know what I mean? Because he feels guilty. And he's trying to convince you, you're frustrating me, Don. Like I said, that's a lot of chemistry. You know where that energy should be going. He ain't getting much, I'm telling you. It's not very good either. Otherwise, you wouldn't be getting frustrated at your ex. It's the star sign, Dawn. Shh. And the transits. Okay. You cut the dinner off. Oh, yeah, hell yeah. I'm not hanging out with no karmic life. I don't even hang out with any of my karmics. I could hang out. I ain't got time. I'm like, I could do it. It really doesn't bother me at all. I would have fun like a tea party with that one. Curious what's going on. Oh, God. Okay, they're already jumping it. What's that about? Char, I think you're twin single, love. I think you're twin single. You might want to do a bit of spying. I can't remember what this one is. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think it's already happened. This person's single. Yep. That was a quick read, wasn't it? The love has come out. This isn't his thought. He's thinking about you. He's off social. Yeah, damn straight. That's a sign. When they go off social, you know they've gone into hiding. They're like, I don't want to be a friend on Facebook no more. I'm hiding. I'm taking it off. You know, they'll change their image on their posts. You know, some of them are just like, I'm not going back on social media. I'll be nagged by the ex. You know, men aren't stupid. They're like, look, I'm just going to dodge a bullet. So there is a separation, right? Some crap went down. Separation away. It was a selfish connection. Maybe they just got to a point that they weren't on the same page. That's what I'd say. These two individuals, this person is single. I do see that he has been around his family. I feel he's visited his family. That can be mother-father energy. Yeah, he's recovering at the moment, right? He is recovering, but he was like, why am I think we're getting to a place in our lives that if something is like absolute, we're batting our head against a wall, especially with this month, you're just going to walk away, okay? There is a walking away of the circumstance. Could be a severing of the contract, you know, from the marriage, but that's what I've got for your twin. I actually, spiritually, I feel single. Are they thinking about you? Yes, they're tying up some loose ends at the moment. They're taking a little bit. They're taking a little bit at the moment. They're being honest with themselves about what would be healthy. But I'm being shown 3, which could have been 3 months ago. Something shifted, especially for it to go that way. But it just feels maybe they're meaning 3 months, or they're meaning it has been coming for 3 months. Allison! Better get that funky hair out, Char. Wait, Mercury retrograde in Libra. Yeah, they feel relieved, I would say, Char. Allison, are you still in the house, beautiful lady? Hi, darling. How you been? Is your hair looking better than mine, Libra? Yeah. How are you doing? You're fine. Okay, yeah, I'm hearing you are making some major plans here, girl. I actually feel you have somebody that is interested in you, separate to twin. You're going to start getting some interest. It's really going to start peaking by mid-month. You are having an image change. You're like, I have been. You could have gone off your feet. You could have been a bit funky. Thanks, Giggle. You've had a lot. How do I put it? A, it feels like you've had a lot going on. B, it feels that you want to get your body back in order. You want to feel better. You want this fresh, vivacious Libra to come out. Did you see in the media? Kim Kardashian got slammed for having a butt on a magazine. She's a Libra. Look out, Libra. Well, I'll be darned. You might get to the point you think, I don't know if I want a relationship. I don't know. I think somebody separate is going to be asking you out or propositioning you, and you're like, I don't know. You also could be making a decision around career. Perfectly normal. You're gauging it. You're going with the flow. This could be transition. This could be upskilling. You do have the outcome as the Lovers. So, yeah, maybe the crap was going down from work as well, previous work. But love could be at work, yes. But it does feel there is advances, propositions, people that are interested in you. And you're like, do I? I think you're just going with the flow. I think you're like, you know, sweet, charismatic, nice. You could be thinking, hey, well, you know, I'm present in my life. I have an opportunity to be who I am. But I do see you very focused on yourself at the moment. This can be health and diet and career transition. Just, you know, doing things that are pleasurous to you. You are thinking about love. You could be thinking about your twin. I don't know why I see you could actually accidentally bump into them. And I feel it's going to be accidental, to be quite honest. Okay, this person that likes you, they ooze charisma. You're a bit wary. If they do ooze charisma, you can be like, are you going to be a problem? Are you going to be okay? I think you're being cautious point blank. I do feel this person could remind you of, you know, the charismatic younger energy maybe of your counterparts. Person's got sex appeal. They're attractive. I'm going to pull a chakra card. I want to see if Allison is getting lucky. Allison's a lady, actually. She's a real lady. So I told you, I'm going to be a good girl, Allison. You want a person who is open. You might mind game them, but you're going to make them work for it. You're like, look, first basket lady, you're like, yeah, you're going to have compassion and empathy, but you might do a little bit of the seductress, but I'm getting you're like, I don't know. Is there something missing? There's something missing for you. You need the whole kitty, I'm telling you. You'll be very direct. You won't play this person about, but you're going to be very direct. I mean, all the way to the point that if they're, you know, if you think they look like a player, you probably just outright tell them, look, honey, I've been around the block a few times. I'm still Jenny from the block. You know, you're going to be like, I've seen a few things. You're protected. That's what I will say. You are protected, but I feel you've got some options there. Any questions, Allison? You got good energy coming in. Well, I'm excited for you as a person over the next 6 to 12 months. It feels exciting. You're going to be like, I've been keeping my life small. It feels like you're having this grand entry into society. And you're not limiting yourself anymore. You're making healthy choices. You're making bold choices. You're making, you know, dreamlike choices. You're going to, your position where you are right now to where you are in 12 months is going to be very, very different. And you're going to start getting excited about life. I wish you luck, Allison. Good luck, lady. Keep an eye on this one. There's a bit of flirtatious innuendos here. And yes, you could hear it from the other individual. But there's lots to do with connections, commitments, contracts coming up. I'm good. I'm excited. I'm feeling less overwhelmed this week. Yeah, it's getting there. It is getting there. We're getting away from that Virgo transit, but it'll come back again, so FYI. Keep your vibe high. Be open to potentials. And I'll see you next week, guys. Feel free to book a reading if you're needing one. Otherwise, I'll see you on the other side. Thank you, Giggle, for moderating. I appreciate it.